Mm. Really? You're clicking for this content? Alright, check out this map. Hello, Mag. This is the, we're on the rush category right now. I'll probably do a few more of the rush category, and then we'll move to macro, and maybe some freestyle if there's time. I don't have a lot of time right now. Um, but maybe check out some more rush maps, and then some of the macro maps. So I'm gonna load this on the editor. Okay, nice. Okay, so this one I was looking at, I'm not too sure about it. Um, Basically what I'm worried about for this map is if you notice like the way this third is facing. So like ideally, especially against Terran, it's kind of nice if you take the triangular base, because if you take triangular expansions, you kind of limit the ability for a doom drop to hit your main. And like that's why a lot of people, especially in TVT, like you want to take a triangular, right? Because you don't want medevacs to just fly through this way, because there's basically all this space right here.
Protoss.
Dude, I just finished my dinner and you started to stream. Fuck you.
I'm sorry. Thanks for the resub though, Mac. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. So yeah, so basically here, like this here is a bit tough. So that's the only thing, right? There's a lot of airspace here, basically. And you know, if you don't take this and you take this, I feel like that's kind of fucked for you. But the thing is, now if you take this triangular expansion, the way it's facing is this way. And I actually don't like it, because normally if it's at least facing this direction, you can kind of you can kind of look into like defending both of these bases, right? Because you go 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, and you kind of set up a defense like that. But on this particular map, you're facing this way, and I feel like it leaves so much space here, and it makes it really hard to take the fourth, in my opinion. You can actually test like how much it would take to wall this. Yeah, there's some, you know, the cool thing actually is like maybe a tank drop isn't as abusive because you can't really hit the ramp. Most of this map would not be really good for proxy reapers. That's okay though. So like check it out. We can actually test, so we can add some buildings. So like that would be really hard to wall, right? And then this as well. So you wouldn't really wall this. I'm sorry, that's probably really loud. Let me turn this down. So you wouldn't really be able to wall that. And then this here, again, like this is not something you can really wall either. I guess you could, but it's a lot of deboats personally. So you could probably wall like this. Right, maybe just like a little wall. And this one there. You wish I woke up at 4 a.m.? Bro, that'd be insane. I cannot wake up at 4 a.m. But yeah, so like I don't know. To me, like this seems like you could play on this map, but there's clearly some disadvantages. I think the other thing too is like as a Zerg player, maybe it's not as difficult if you're able to get the fourth, because then your creep kind of connects everything, right? And that's kind of like my view on it, is that the creep kind of connects everything together. But for the other races, I don't know. It seems like it's a bit abusive. No, this is not super wide. You could actually, so we could probably do like this. First let me build this other armory. So maybe like armory there. Good. Depot, and I think that is a wall. We should put one more to be safe. Maybe. So that's actually not that bad. So this is not that bad. Might be a thing for pros players, yeah. I agree. But yeah, this open area plus like the way this third is facing seems a bit tough. Like you can't really abuse this. Well, maybe you could abuse this tank positioning a bit. But at least like there's this open area and this open area. So if somebody did abuse this position, a Zerg player could technically surround it, right? It could come from this side, and then you can come from this side, and then you could hit the middle part here. So it's actually not terrible in that regard. You also gotta think about this is the rush category. So it's supposed to also be like something where you can attack pretty easily, right? Kind of natural to natural, which does seem to be the case for the most part. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think like you could use this for competitive play, but there is some obviously like some issues with it. At least that way. I think like once you get 4 bases, kind of a shit show. The gold, I'm not even sure about how that's gonna work. That seems really, really tough. Why is map so small? This is a rush category. So there's different categories for the maps. This is the rush category. So it's supposed to be a bit smaller, but actually natural to natural is not too bad. So there's standard, there's rush, there's macro, and there's freestyle. So if it's on the rush category, that's why the map's small. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a rush map. So yeah. So I'll give this one a 3 as well. So 3 is like neutral. Like it could be used for competitive play, but there's obviously like some issues with it. There's mostly my issue with it. You also read some of the notes. So and then it's actually good that so you see this right here. It's actually good that they put this. I obviously like realized it myself, but it's good to, because some of the other ones like they didn't really note that, and it's actually like, I think it was this one. Yeah, like this map, to me, you could actually abuse tanks really hard. Here, even like down here to hit this base, right here to hit this base. So like even here to hit this is kind of crazy. A 5 map, yeah, you want to see it? I liked it. I feel like it's really balanced, and it obviously you have to judge it considering the category as well, which is a rush map. So, for my notes, I'm gonna put here the triangular third facing away from the natural complicates defending the 4th base. Or linear third, right? Because it could also be the linear third. The open area in front of the natural and in between both potential third bases seems tough to hold in like a X versus Zerg matchup. Oops. And what was the other thing I was gonna say? And not really practical, not really able to wall off without committing tons of depots. Okay. Pink Moon. Oh, I like the tile set. I try to judge it from all the matchups. Obviously, like I don't know a lot about ZVZ or even like PvP, so I wouldn't be able to note about that. But like PvZ, PvT, TVZ, TVT, like yeah, I can give a little more insight on that. Obviously, there's other judges too, so it's not just like me and like dictating which maps are gonna come in, right? Like there's obviously gonna be judges from different races, so. Protoss mains, Smooch. So like something that I noticed in these maps actually is like how large the mains are, which is a bit complex because you're going what? Want a spree? What? I'm just gonna load this. Okay, it's loading. Some of them didn't load. My main is big. Hey yo. So like here, for example, the main is pretty big, right? And like there's this like stuff here, like this space here you can put your buildings. So the problem here, you want to be really careful of, and I feel like something that map makers can't overlook is like we obviously seen in this meta that there's a lot of blink openers on some of these maps that are just crazy, like Moondance, Cosmic Sapphire. That's another one. There's one more I think I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Stargazers. So like, and it's not that you can't deal with them, but obviously like if they're particularly abusive, maybe it's not great. Or if you're gonna have big mains, you want to be able to at least make it a little bit more difficult for somebody to abuse that. So like the two things that I've been looking for, number one is like if they jump from here to here, that's fine, right? But then how easy is it for a Protoss player to basically go from here and then blink out and then suddenly walk into your natural, right? Because that's one of the issues is the proximity. If you need to relocate your army here, they blink away and then just like quickly run around and then cuck you here and you can't reposition at all. That's obviously very fucked. And that makes a huge issue. So like the proximity of these two ramps is important, but also how accessible is your main. So for example, it seems like if they were going to blink into your main, they'd have to use like this section right here to do it. And you know, they can also they can blink in here and then kind of walk down here. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. Maybe beyond that, let's just check the expansion. So like this is kind of nice because you can go 1, 2, 3. The huge open space right here. So like that complicates things a bit, right? Nowadays, like what people do to wall off is instead of just walling this entire thing, because you really can't do that efficiently. Like you're gonna commit, what is that, like 6 depots? Maybe you can do 5 depots. No, it's 6 depot wall off, right? So that's tons of depots you don't really want to be committing if you can help it. Same thing on this side.
Fuck Protoss.
What did you get me for our anniversary?
What I get you for our anniversary? I'm broke. You can have my love. Emoji? Just you could turn the volume on down on this thing, but it's okay. Got you, Smooge, as always. Yeah. So, oh yeah, but I was mentioning, like, I guess one of the cool things here is like this middle spot is kind of tough, but you can perform a spoken word poem that's free. Sorry, I'm not creative. I'm a Terran player. I just copy what other people do. Yeah, you can defend this from these two locations, right? Like you siege tanks here and you siege tanks here, and like maybe this open space isn't as bad to cuck you. Cause like one of the maps that I've been thinking about that had a lot of issues was Curious Minds, as a rush map. So like with Curious Minds, the issue was like the issue with this map was the same exact thing. And I remember when I judged this map, I actually wrote that down. Like, if you took this third and then this fourth, this area here was insane. On top of defending this open space, right? Was a bit easier to defend because you could actually wall this, but this open area was insane. So like you had to literally defend this here, this arch, and then an additional arch afterwards. And like it was a struggle bus. You basically like wanted to play more aggro openers sooner to be able to like mitigate that whole thing. So that was the thing about this map that was a bit tough and very annoying to deal with. So but like this person does a better job of mitigating that issue, right? So everything else, I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th base is a bit out there, but it's the same thing for your opponent, so it's not actually terrible, right? Like both 5th base locations are pretty far. Also, rush maps tend to have difficult 5th bases to take anyway. That's kind of the point. I think another thing is like the 5th base. It's always going to be easier, I think, for Protoss players to defend the most. Zergs, it would be also easy to defend, assuming that their creep connects and there's no issues with that. and whatchamacallit. For Protoss, I think it's the easiest because then you can have like the warp-ins plus the batteries, and so that's another thing. Like a really hard part about playing late game TVP that you got to think about as well is that it's not that it's impossible to defend a 5th base as a Terran, but it definitely is one of the harder things in the late game matchup. And I feel like it's a bit easier for Protoss players to snipe 5th bases than it is for Terran players to snipe 5th bases, especially if you overlook defending the blink DTs. So that's the only thing that's a bit worrisome. I don't think it's that bad. I like the tile set. It's creative. The slow zones are interesting. I don't think they do too much to avoid people from attacking through the middle. I think for the most part, people are going to try to go, especially the Terran, try to go around this way and take these fights on ramps. But like, even if I were to siege here as a Terran player against a Zerg player, there's still opportunities for them to come around and surround you. And it doesn't take... They wouldn't have to go all the way around the slow zone. They could just cut through the middle and go around like this. Yeah, I don't think this map's that bad. There's some airspace, clearly. I'd imagine you can't go all the way back here, but it's probably up to like here. Yeah, there's some opportunity for harassment. That's not bad. So I think we give it a 4 based on the rating guidelines. I don't think there's anything like that'd be pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't think there's anything like that stands out that's like really bad about this map or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4. Nothing concerning stands out that could be particularly abusive or abusive for any matchup. I don't know. I don't really know what other comments to give. Like balanced 4 base layout and 5th base contention is equally difficult for the other races. For all 3 races. Okay. Do this one next. I'll probably do a few more rush maps here, and then we'll do one. What about needing 6 depots to wall? The thing you have to understand too is like you can't also give like, how do I say, like if you make it too easy to wall, then you make it too easy to turtle, and like as much as that would be good for Terran, I cannot be super biased or else they'll never let me judge this shit again. So like that would be a bit of a, I don't know, like how do I say this? Maybe biased, but like most of the maps even now are not actually like super great with walling off the 4th base. Waterfall, for example, is not really you can't really wall that. Cosmic is kind of the same thing. Which other map? Stargazers. It's not, you don't really need to wall that. I mean, worst case scenario, let's say you did need to wall that. Sorry. Or want to wall that. You at this point here, if you take, this one, let's say you take this as your 4th. Fucking hell. At that point, you could actually just put 3 barracks on top of it, right here. Your 8 raxes, right? So your 3 extra racks when you take your 4th. You just slap them right here, and that's already a really nice wall. You can even test it, like. Bro, why am I fucking sneezing? Like, look at that. That's already really good. They obviously will be a little bit farther up, so you can add like add-ons. I mean, the issue on this side would be that your add-ons would be exposed, but you could even have them a bit angled to create some chokes. And then this one here, I mean, third bases aren't even walled off all the way anymore. Like, you do like little half walls with depots, and it basically is like, it's like maybe 2 depots here, let's say. And then like 3 depots like that, and then your command center here. And that's actually not bad because you can actually still pull your workers away and mineral walk them to your natural, and still block off this section and still control this section. So it's not terrible. Okay, this is the next one. Let's see if we can load it on the thing. Okay, for the description, it says small rush map with 6 bases per player. Main attack route leads through dangerous low ground. I'm gonna blow my nose. Actually, give me a second. Fucking dying. Turn back. Alright, small rush map with 6 bases. Blah, 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 blah. There's a Zelnaga tower at 5 and 11 o'clock that gives vision to some of the high ground side path. It's hidden behind Los Blockers. What? Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Let me in. Let me see the goods. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, so like this would be an easier map, right? Because you could actually wall this. See that? Like this is your idea, right? With the rocks. 4th. So like this particular map, and then same thing on this side, you would just do what I mentioned, which is like 1 depot there, and then like a couple of depots to zone out a little bit, and then that's it. Just so your SCVs can run away. And then let's see. So I like that this pathway is a possibility, but it's still blocked off initially, so it's not something that could be abused like right away. Rocks down the middle as well. Let's see. Main is large again, but if you look at this one, the blinking space is actually minimal as well. And it's a bit farther away, so you could build your buildings like, and on this particular spawn, it might be a little bit more difficult, but like you could build your buildings like here. Let's say 3 racks. You have like a little space in between. Do a factory. You can even build a barracks on this side and like factory starport here. And then you could put a tank right here. So you could put a tank right here, and then you could still defend this from stalkers. On this particular spawn, I'd probably just build my barracks on closer to this side so that my add-ons can't get sniped, but it doesn't seem terrible in that regard either. You can push across the map. Obviously, it's very close because it's a rush map. So a choke in the middle, and then open area here and open area here, which is nice. You could also attack going this way. I think as a 3rd player, breaking these rocks is manageable. Maybe a bit tough. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm thinking of right now. Like you could do like a 8 racks all in and attack through the middle like this, but then if you position yourself here for too long, you're kind of, you make it easier for them to surround you. So you also have times of the essence kind of thing. I actually don't think this map is that bad. Oh, as you can see what I mean here as well. Like if you put the add-ons, if you put the barracks here and the add-ons on this side, then it's even easier to defend. And the stalkers don't really do that much, even if the main's a little bit slightly bigger. And then not a whole big path here. Not a map you could do proxy reapers on probably, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Fifth. Yeah, I mean the fifth is always gonna be fifth or sixth are always gonna be the harder ones to take. That's fine. That's normal for all the races. Yeah, I think this is bad at all. Maybe the only thing you could think of is like it might be harder to. It would be a little bit harder to like use your Hellions to deny creep, because you kind of have to go around like this, like that, or they go around this way. But like, you could still shoot the Zerglings or the creep tumors that go past this rock. So you could still actually do a pretty decent job of denying and delaying some of the creep through the middle, and then you still would have to be cautious of a run by or a surround from coming from these two angles. So it kind of balances out. I think that's really good. I think I'll give this map a 5. Ow. Hello? What the fuck? Don't look at that. Alright, so for this one, this one a 5. And then obviously like I don't really have like a lot of comments to say. I'll say like I think it's really well balanced. I think it's very well balanced. Allows for certain plays, but also allows for counter plays. For example, pushing down the middle with the parade push and TVZ. Can also be punished with counters or like or surrounds on the position. Rocks are placed in good spots. Large main, but not particularly abusive. Okay. Yeah, we'll do like 2 more rush maps, and then we'll do macro. Whoa, what the heck? This looks sick. Okay, wait. This is a pretty oh, not this one. It was the what's the? Oh, it was that one? Yeah, this map seems very very well done. I like the side blockers as well. The towers aren't useless either, right? Like you'd obviously have map vision in the middle, and if you take the towers, you can see the sides. Alright, down it. Okay, it should load here. Hopefully. Yep. I know I need to. We'll do it right now. Oh, I closed full stream. Smooge. Okay. What maps am I liking so far? I mean, there's a lot of them, but I have my scoring sheet here. Honestly, the maps this time around, I feel like the maps this map contest are really good. Like I feel like I had to rate fewer maps bad or poorly rather. This one, yeah, I seem to do very well balanced. Roughneck I wasn't sure about, so I was gonna come back to that one. Okay, so main's pretty big here. Main's actually fucking kind of. You think it's a tiny main base? I feel like it's not too small. I feel like it's medium. Like there's some building space here. some building space here and some building space here. Yeah, so the most you could do is be right here. Right? This seems too far. Like, this seems like I could have hit. Oh. Yeah, it seems like I could still hit this. It seems a little scuffed. Maybe I can download the map and see. Okay, you can wall this. Shit. The green button. This one? Or this one? Oh, top right. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I just saw it, bro. Relax. Oh, my Starcraft editor crashed. Thanks, Mixu. The phoenixes. Well, that seems pretty nasty, no? I'm in slow motion. Whee.
Minerales insuficientes.
Yeah, this seems a little abusive, right? Like if you have range. What if you have range? Mix you. Tell me that's not abusive right there. Like you could only hit it with one queen. Yeah, I know. These edges are bad. Like this is already bad. Like this right here is a bit tough. For sure. I agree. Like there's nothing here. So like going from like the natural to the main is not really practical. So if you commit on one side, you're stuck on that side. And then yeah, this here. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know, especially like this part here. Can't hit here. No, there's no way you get a hit right there either. Yeah. You can go the whole way. Until you get here, I think. So this is third. Maybe then. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, I love Terran, man, but like, this is a little bit fucked. Natural, third, right? You can wall this. Fourth is a little farther out there. I don't know. It's the airspace. I think it's just the airspace. Also, I've noticed there's a lot of forward bases on these new maps. I mean, yeah, unless the judges don't actually pay attention. It's not the fact that it's small because it's under the rush map category. So like, it's fine, right? Like this is made with the intention of being a rush map. So like, if it's small, that's not terrible per se. But like, I do think the smaller maps are better for Protoss players and Terran players than they are for Zerg players. So like, I don't know who any of the judges are. I don't know who the other judges are. Like, I feel like this would be stronger for a Terran or Protoss for sure, right? And then, you know, it's the more safe ones. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that this map is gonna get through to the rest of the maps, but like, so for this one, we can give it a 2 for the rating guidelines, right? So this map has problems and probably shouldn't be used for competitive play. That's what this is. So we can just write pretty much too much airspace where Terrans can fly by without being hit from the low ground. A nasty liberator spot behind the mineral line of the main. Oh yeah, hit by low ground units. You're right, Mixu. You're right. Very small and favorable for Terrans or Protoss. It seems abusive for Zerg players. Okay. Yeah, so the airspace is a big deal, right? It's not great. See that? Bam. Yeah, I think obviously if they fix the airspace, it would get a better rating. You can fly from your main to the guy's main without ever getting hit by ground units. There's one part I think you can get hit, but otherwise, yes, you're right. So that's why we rated it so lowly. Okay, so we'll do one more rush map and then we'll do macro. So the notes here is this one map provides what? Provides players with additional safety by introducing a 2-building wall off at the natural. Interesting. However, taking a third base will pose a challenge to players that might require more patience than on regular macro maps due to openness and rush distance. Okay. Okay, so I see what he means, right? So, or what they mean. So basically, main, natural, then the third base is in Narnia. So this is yeah, a bit tragic, I have to say. Let's take a look. Rate 1? Why so mean? You haven't even looked at it. All right. Okay, here it is. So this is pretty tough. Like, I don't even know. There is a few maps like this where basically the third base is so far away that, like, good for Zerg. I don't think this map is good for Zerg. Like, your third base is so far away, and then your fourth base has to be even farther away. Like, I feel like if you get 2 base all-in or 3 base all-in from a Terran, like, it's kind of nasty. Because there's also a rush map, right? So the distance from natural to natural is already not super crazy. But like, yeah, some of these tank spots. This one maybe seems pretty good. Tank right here. Tank spots here. Tank spots right here. Well, maybe this one is not. I guess you put one here, you could defend this. Right. Tank spot here. 2 tanks here, and you can actually. So 2 tanks here, and then you can actually push through here, which is pretty nasty in my opinion. But there's ramp. 2 ramps. Yeah, I mean, 2 maps converge to 1. There's a ditch right there. I don't know. To me, this seems like a really tough map. And one of the things too is, like, For example, in this kind of map, yeah, 2 tanks in the middle so you can defend at the ramp. You wouldn't want to fight up a ramp, but I'm saying like this would be you attacking into somebody. And if you're defending, if you're trying to defend the ramps, you could put 2 tanks here. And then this is a bit of a ditch and also a bit of a choke. So that could be tough to fight through there, I guess, right? If you're camping. But the other thing too is like the third base is so far away on this map that, you know, a run by or a big attack just swinging around the corner and coming through here, then you have to fight you're forced to fight in this open area. I mean, maybe you could put tanks here, but it's still a huge open area. You can actually even like just go by through that and then just come down through here. And then the same thing through here, right? Well, maybe there's a choke here, so you could wall this. Yeah, I don't know. To me, this seems like a tough map for Zerg. I don't know what makes you think, but to me, this seems like a tough map for Zerg. Even Protoss. Like as a Terran, this is not a bad map because I get just 2 base all-in or 3 base all-in. I can just wall this, build like 8 Raxes here or 3 more Raxes here, and then just go across the map. That's what I feel like. So that's the only thing. ¿Qué es eso? Soy un juez para las mapas nuevas que van a salir. Bueno, son como 84 mapas. Y de esos 84, no me acuerdo cuántos quedan en las finales, pero hay como unos 5 o 10 personas que revisan las mapas y luego les dan ¿cómo se dice? I forgot to say that. Como una nota. O les das puntos entre 1 y 5. Y con esos puntos depende cuáles mapas van a quedar y van a llegar a los finales. You think it looks better than Beckett? The third to third is so close though. That's if you do the linear third though. But if you do the linear third and then you gotta take this one as your fourth, it seems really far away, and like I feel like I would abuse that as a Terran player. Especially like if you take this one as a Zerg, I would place extra emphasis in cutting this off your creep and then just like yeeting your main. The Blink Stalker push? Yeah.
Eu faço samba porque a natureza assim quis, a musa me abraçou. Me escolheu para fazer como escolher, outros escolheram meu. E a gente se
Coming up from here. I mean, it's not bad. You always try to line down the side. No, like expand. Not that expanding this way is wrong, but I'm saying is that the fourth, like, if you take this as your third, the fourth base is pretty far away from you. Obviously, you can go this way. Like, this is way too far away. Better than Beckett. I'm trying to figure out what score I want to give it. That's what I'm saying. Like you can take linear base as a Zerg still, but I'm saying that the fourth base is still pretty far away. I feel like I could abuse this a lot as a Terran. especially with like a 3-base all-in. Like if the Zerg player is ahead or had a really good start, then I feel like it's not that bad. But like, you take this as your third, and you gotta take that one as your fourth. And I feel like if you take this base, I can just go this way, and I can abuse this super hard. Like if I just emphasize preventing your creep from reaching that area. If I get a nasty tank spot, that one sucks. And then from here, if I'm abusing this spot, from here, I could go into your main, right? And it seems like it would be really hard to fight against because you'd have to go, like if you wanted to surround this position, you'd have to go all the way around. Or if I take triangular expansion, like you mentioned, and then you expand linear, like it's so fast for me to push through this way. And it wouldn't be bad per se, right? Because it's a rush map, so the maps are going to be close together. But then the idea here is that if I'm able to get this set up in this position, it feels like it'd be really hard for you to break. And I could have like one tank forward. T3. Yeah, this is insane, yeah. So like, yeah, like trust me, like this map would be sick for Terran. Like, and then look at this as well. This is actually really small. You guys see this? Like, I feel like that's even crazier. Like for a Zerg player, for me to just like run around this little edge here, a little bit less surface area. Well, you think even this too? So I don't know. To me, this just seems a bit abusive. Like it seems very strong for Terran. You know, like if the Zerg player survives this kind of abuse, then I feel like then maybe they can defend then they can abuse the fact that Terran's fourth base is maybe a little bit farther. But actually, looking at it now, like if I set this up, it's actually pretty. I can actually defend this pretty well. Like I could just wall this, and then just. Good Roach Ravager map in like TVZ, maybe, but I don't know. Like, I could just play like a 3cc Banshee build, and then I feel like if you, actually, I don't know. Blackburn? Bro, Blackburn was not Terran favored. They're out of their fucking minds. This one is not very open. Unless you're in the middle here, I guess. Maybe here. But like attacking into Terran, it seems like it's a bitch as a Zerg player. Choke. 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 Like you'd have to get past the choke uncontested and then fight here maybe or something like that, or like push through here. So I think I'll give it a 2. I wanted to give it a better score, but I think that if you let this map in, like, it's just gonna be insane. ¿Para cuándo? No sé. Creo que entrando el nuevo año.
Fuck Protoss.
Yo, May on fire. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Boggies. Getting rich. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I was actually gonna add. I feel like I recognize your name as one of the map makers. I'm trying my best to be like very thorough in this and streaming the process. I think it's also nice for the judges to see that their maps aren't getting butchered, you know, behind the scenes. Oh, this map sucks, bad, without actually looking at it. But yeah, I mean, this is my take on it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing, but I think that's it for the most part. I think like if they just changed maybe these chokes, or maybe made one of these openings slightly larger, or eliminated like a tank spot, it could be nice. But like, obviously I'm judging this based on what the meta is right now, and like I think this is my perspective on like how people would approach this map in the current meta. And like, obviously if the map is different, then obviously players have to do different things. So like, they won't jump to just doing the first thing they want to do, like the first thing that is normal, which is just like taking this base and then sieging another person's base right away because of the proximity of this and the spots that are here. So that's my take. I'm sorry. Okay, so I just want to make sure this lines up. Okay, so this map. So for my notes, I'll put this map feels, or I don't want to say feels, like it appears to be very abusive or very easy for Terran players to abuse in regards to tank spots. Can you see that sheet? I don't think I'm allowed to show that sheet unless unless you're a judge. Yeah, I think you can find the maps, so you can see them yourself. In regards to tank spots, notably, the one that was very notable was the the triangular third for Terran versus linear third of Zerg. The ramps did look bigger in the pictures, actually pretty small in the game, so maybe creating a larger space or open area for a Zerg player to be able to punish the siege positions could help with this. It's not that tank positionings are bad, but it's just like these ones in particular felt very abusive, and there was multiple of them. So, and it felt like there was minimal counterplay. So it's like not that siege tank positions are bad, but it felt like okay, there were multiple of them, and counterplay was a bit minimal. Okay. All right, next one. So we'll do this last one here for. Obviously, I'm not done here yet for Rush, and then we'll take a look at the macro ones. But honestly, creating maps has got to be so hard, like, because you have to think about the 9 matchups, right? So like, you gotta think about the 9 matchups, and that's actually like pretty tough. Like, you know. Okay, I'll open this one. Oops. Okay. So you got the same thing, right? Like a bit of a larger main. This time it's on this side. So like I was mentioning before, like one of the first things you want to think about is like in the current meta, and one of the what I think to be an issue with the current map pool is the larger mains versus blink stalkers, right? So like Moon Dance or Cosmic have pretty large mains, and especially Moon Dance in particular is a little bit more abusive for this style of play. So one thing you want to think about is like having a larger main is not bad, but how easy it is for somebody to jump from this third here to your main is a big factor, right? So in this case, there's only this one part here, which doesn't seem terrible. You'd kind of have to start building your buildings a bit closer, and then obviously as you get to later parts of the game, you can fill this space here. So yeah, you should do it, man. It seems like it'd be fun. We'll take a look at how to wall this off right now. At least for Terran. This is pretty interesting. Actually, I wonder how that plays out. Small base count. Well, it's a rush map, so you got to think about that too. It's a rush map, so the base count is going to be smaller. It says it's 14 bases plus 2. 7 bases per player. A forward base below line third has 1 rich geyser instead of 2 normal ones. That's interesting. Big pillars of acceleration zones on them allow for interesting arty movement. Yeah, I agree. Like I could siege my tanks here, but it's a bit easier to attack into them once you cross into the zone here. Okay. 1, 2. So you go trying. So the 4th base is pretty far away. That is one thing. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. So like I mentioned earlier, like you're not really expected to wall off these entire things as a Terran anymore. And like TVZ, for example, you can kind of get away with just building like a depot there and like a couple of depots here, and then if you need to pull your workers, you can pull them into your natural. So it's only the 4th that seems a bit tough, but it seems like what you also want to think about is if it's just harder for one particular race, but if it's harder for all the races, so like it could, like it seems like it would be harder to take a 4th as a Terran, mostly because like if I take this as a 4th, I feel like I leave a lot of exposure down this side, and if I do leave that much exposure on this side, and how much of this can I actually wall to maybe help with that? So in this case, like there's maybe not that much I can do to wall this off. So maybe instead of taking this one, or instead of taking this 4th, I could take maybe this one as my 4th, and then that might make it easier, right, to defend that. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. But now if I do this, it's kind of the same thing. I'm leaving this area exposed, and then just thinking about the current meta, like obviously it's a rush map, so maybe it wouldn't even make it into the late game that often, but in a scenario where like you did make it that far into the game, which nowadays is pretty likely, how difficult is it to deal with maybe lurker pushes, or no, maybe not gateway armies, like maybe not TVP, it's not that big of an issue, but I think in TVZ it's a big issue or something to consider. And then natural to natural, yeah, it's pretty quick. What was the distance again? Here, 30 seconds. Oh, that's not terrible. Yeah. So that's one of the things I'm thinking about. But obviously, like a lot of these things sometimes look bigger in the editor than they do in the game. So we'll just take a look in the game. Oh, didn't mean to build that. Oh, my ads are playing. Smooch. Pilones. Okay. Oh, I didn't check this. I should check this. This doesn't seem terrible though. Okay, so like, if you actually see these, this actually doesn't look super big now. Well, I don't think you would still wall this. Yeah, that fourth base is pretty far away though. Right, so if I... Oh, I don't think I can use camera locations. I can't. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's just a fourth base that's like, is it bad enough to the point, or is it so far away to the point where it's like not really feasible to take at all, or is it just like, I don't know. 'Cause I feel like if I take this as a fourth, like the accessibility here is kind of crazy. Decision. Actually, there's some of the maps I didn't finish judging. Like, I looked at them and I was like, fuck, can't decide. I'll take a look at them again later. So I skipped them. Maybe that's good. Yeah, like, openness is not terrible. It's not terrible. Say. Like, for example, openness would be really good in the TVP or in the TVT. There's actually like very little chokes. It looks too good for the attacker in ZVZ. See, you would know about that. I wouldn't be able to tell you about that ZVZ stuff. Yeah, this seems too high to blink towards, right? But this one is not. But it's fine because there's only this amount of space. Well, the pillars will help. ZVZ would be spicy on this map. Banlings in the speed zones. That would be pretty nice. Mixie, what do you think about the fourth base? Also, one thing that I've been thinking about so far. Like, this seems really far away. It feels like you'd maybe take this one, but then it kind of leaves you open. Like I like the open space of the map, but I feel like if it's not at least like something small to like wall off, or just like maybe eliminate one angle to make it just slightly easier to take this base, I feel like that would help a lot. Because it's just gonna be really far away from your third. Like, it's not far away from your natural, but it seems like, yeah, exactly. Like, from the third to the fourth, that's like super crazy. Dead space. Yeah, there's not much dead space. Let's see, what the heck? That's cool. Yeah. Well, like here, this is actually pretty good. But this is tough for sure. A little bit. Like here you can get hit, but here you can't. And then here you can't get hit at all, but here you could. So you have to be very careful. But you actually have to try to be careful with your medevacs. And the other map we saw, it was like you couldn't get hit at all from the bottom. It was crazy. All right. Let me think. How about this war? Mixie, what score are you giving it right now? A 2? It's really because of the fourth, isn't it? Three is mid. It's not that it's mid, it's just... It's the fourth base that's just like bothering me a lot. Like if they if they just like made maybe the fourth is just a bit just a little bit easier to take, and like maybe you can like have a little bit of a defensive posture. Obviously you don't want a map where it's just all choke points. So we just saw that in the last map where that was bad. But like you also don't want it to be like too open. But that's the hard part, right? Like the hard part is finding the balance between all that. So yeah, I think I'll do a 2 as well. Which kind of sucks because it's only that one thing in particular that I feel like is bothering me the most. Here, cool concepts. 5 is the highest, yeah. 3 base. Issue is mostly focused on the distance between the 3rd and the 4th base and the ability to be able to defend it. And this isn't the this isn't just like a Terran thing. This is like all the matchups. Like defending between your 3rd and your 4th is really tough. Yeah, the speed pillars were cool. Like that's nice though, right? Because the reason why we didn't give this one a high rating wasn't because of the speed pillars. It was just the 3rd and 4th, which unfortunately like is a big deal, and a big enough deal to where like we have to consider that as like being a really big issue in competitive play. To defend it or defend both locations. Okay, let's do like some macro maps. I got time for like 2 or 3 macro maps, and then I will finish my judging later. Okay, so let's check out the picture. So this is a macro map, so it's gonna be bigger. Jesus, I mean it's fucking huge. The tile set is cool, but now this is obviously first impression. This is the concern here. Are we getting new maps? Yeah, it seems like there will be new maps. You would never want to have this on ladder. As long as King Cobra exists. Smooge. 4 levels is pretty sick. So do you want to read the notes? Okay, so this map features 4 cliff levels and 16 bases total. It's a macro map, does it make sense? There are rocks that can be destroyed to open up some paths around the map. No overlord spot at the natural. Line of sight blockers in the middle of the area. Okay, so no overlord spot at the natural. I think some of the maps now have that issue. That's not an issue per se, but have that feature now. Yeah, hardly any dead space is a bit difficult. So to me, this would make it a little hard for a Zerg player to be able to send the Overlord behind the mineral line of the main to scout the tech, right? Since there's no pillar here. So let's load it in the thing. Oh. So these times would be cool if the SC2 meta wasn't so campy. Yeah, that's what I was saying as well in like some of the previous maps. Like, it's not that these maps were really bad or like super poorly designed, but like when considering the meta right now and like how the way people will approach the maps, like some of these maps were like maybe like too good for camping, or like wait, this one? Oh, there you go. Okay. Camp City, smooth. Okay. This might change my scene. I'm sorry. I just want to see. I'm trying to see if basically you can blink up there. That's what I'm trying to see. Good visibility. Yeah, actually, it's very nice and bright. 1, 2. Yeah, the dead space here hurts a good amount. So like on this map, maybe in a TVP or in a TVZ, you just want to go for like eco-based 3 command center kind of thing. Nothing here. Maybe here. Can go through here. Yeah, I'm trying to think about. This is what I'm concerned about. Like, this is actually pretty huge. Like, it would be mental if you can blink here and here. Okay, what's the difference between natural to natural? Where's my thingy? Okay, 35 seconds. I'm trying to think, cause like I'm thinking about this. Mentioning tank push through the natural. Like this could be kind of nasty. But if it's not like super easy to get to, then maybe it's not terrible. Right. So it seems like you could blink through here. It seems like you can blink through here. I like the leveled expos too. Okay, so concern 3 bases seems like it might be too easy to defend, especially and this the PvZ enjoyers, the Protoss players who like to camp on Stargates quickly on 3 bases. Same thing as a Terran, it would be a lot easier. Like, I don't think you could play mech on this map because it's still very open and pretty big. But 3 bases pretty easily. Romanticide vibes. 4th base. Forward base is pretty open. Blink enjoyers and Stargate camping. Like Blink enjoyers is that's not really bad, right? Like Blink is always going to be a strategy, or like Stargate camping is also going to be a strategy, but it's like how much does a map reward that? So like this one here, or like is there counterplay to it as well? Like if this map gives the opportunity for there to be Stargate camping, does it offer something else where maybe there's a play around it or something like that? Which to me, it doesn't seem like there is. And the only reason that is because of the ramps. Like you'd have to attack up a ramp. And you also can't, like, I think as a Zerg player, you can't really hit a fast timing to maybe punish greed from a Stargate. Like somebody going really fast Stargate and camping on carriers because of the map size, like natural to natural, the distance. So that could be another thing too to think about. I like the size of the map though. Like I think it's cool. Tile set's cool. Lighting is good. I don't think like this base is like particularly poorly placed. But you don't like games ending under 15 minutes? Vote. I mean, it's a macro map, right? So we're assuming that because it's a macro map, it's going to take longer. It's going to take longer, right? Like it's going to be a macro game. But yeah, I think 2 or 3. Like, it's not that it can't be used competitively, because it could be, but then it would just, if you're following the criteria for the scoring guidelines, like, you could use it competitively. Like, there's nothing, it's just that it rewards this camping gameplay. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Like, if I'm gonna follow the guidelines, like this should be, I guess, a 3. Because you could use this competitively, but it does have like its issues. Which is 3-base carrier camping. Three base and no to max on carries if you can't break 3-base setup. In this meta, it's broken. Mixie wants to give it a 1. Am I good music today? Thanks, I guess. 5 more guys. 5 more guys. You give it a 1. You think it's a 3? Okay, Mixie and I are on the same page. I think I'll give it a 3. Need to give it a 1? What's wrong, Belly? What's wrong with the map? Okay. So our Eternal Dream map score, we're gonna give it a 3. We're gonna say for this map that 2 notable issues for this map. First being that the quick 3-base layout and the 2 ramps leading into the bases make it really easy for someone to camp on 3 Stargates. Oh, sorry, on 3-base carrier, and there's no attack. What should I call it? Because there's only 2 ramps leading up towards the bases. Towards the bases. Zerg players don't have an open area to punish this kind of play. Yeah. Like EC 3 bases is always gonna make it easier to take a 4th for sure. The other issue is the double ledge of the main base and the size of the main makes Blink Stalker aggression too strong. That's my take. Nasty cannon rush spots. I didn't even. I left a thing, didn't I? Oh no. Nasty cannon rush spots. Where did you say? Nasty cannon spots. Like, wait, where? Like back here? Or like here? You could cannon the 3rd, which would be crazy. Protoss player was wedge free. Yeah, here, right? It's 1 pylon, 2 pylons, and then a cannon. You could hit out the high ground though. Oh, shit. Ow. Ow. Alright. It seems like it is a Protoss player is wedge free. If they fix those 2 issues though, this map would be sick. Alright. 1 or 2 more maps for me, and then I will have to head out. And then I'll probably stream the rest of this later today. Or I'll do it on my own. I don't know. Whoa. Well, some of the tile sets for these maps have been pretty sick. No ladder. No, I have to do something, unfortunately. These next 2 days I'm a bit busy. I actually wasn't even meant to stream today, but here I am, providing content. This one is pretty. It is pretty. Okay, so huge main again. Let me load this into the editor. And like I said, big main is not bad per se, but we just want to see if how the accessibility of the main is at. Okay. Yeah, so like this here, it's pretty big, but like this blinking spot is pretty small. So you'd have to blink one way in and one way out, pretty much. And you could still, while you're put your buildings here and then put a tank here. So maybe not that bad. Okay, so if you want to take the triangular third, you got to take this one. Although it seems like it's just better to take this one and just wall this, right? This is like one of the few maps where you would just expand as a Terran linear wise. Let me read the description. I should have read that first, my bad. I didn't actually read that. Mirrored symmetry map with 8 bases per player. One of the forward bases have gold minerals that blocks a potential attack path. Mine it to open the map or control it to help defend against expansions. Gold base is placed at the top of the ramp. Workers can be attacked from the bottom of the side. Okay. 20. This map's gotta be crazy. Oh, that's fucking. Whoa, that's interesting. What the hell? That's interesting. Oh, what? It's a close spawn. I didn't even realize that. No, you could actually like 3 base all in. Oh, this is pretty interesting actually. Like, you can approach it different ways. Three ramps. Makes you it. Stargate camping seems like it's not as good on this map as the other one. But I guess it still seems like it's possible, right? Like they could cannon this position here. Like they could cannon this position here. Or this position here. Mixu hates every map. Mixu's just a, he's just a critic, man. Okay, tank spots. I like, see the thing is about the tank spots though is like, as long as it's not hitting the third hatchery or hitting like, maybe it only covers like this range here, that's fine. Even here. It's busted. It's busted when like you have a tank here and then it actually fucking hits the mineral line or the hatchery or whatever building is there, and then that's actually like pretty pain. The low ground tank spots do seem kind of nuts though, like if you can get to them, I will say. Like this seems pretty good. This seems good. But also there's a lot of ramps and there's an open area, so I do feel like as long as you can't hit the base, it's possible to get surrounded from behind. That's my look. That's my take on it. Like if I'm set up here, it's still possible for you to come from up here, down here, and over here. So many slight blockers. Yeah, you're about to eat a disruptor to the face. Map vision would be super important here. You could probably have a few less or fewer slight blockers, but I don't know. It's not that. That's not terrible. Okay. It seems like the only concern so far, let's check out the airspace. The only concern so far is the 3 base layout again. It is a bit easier though, it seems like, because of the, there's a 1 extra ramp at least. And once you go up the ramp, then there's the open space. Okay, you can sit here. Oh, fucking Christ. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. My tanks everywhere. Okay. So on this side, the blink issue. Wait, this seems pretty high. You should be able to blink that, right? Yeah, as a Protoss player, yeah, you can't wall that off as easily for sure. That's a pretty big wall. Even for a Terran, that's a pretty big wall. It's harder to blink, but you can blink, yes. Okay. Well, as long as it's harder to blink. Normal 3 building wall off. By what? Writing make units stalker or make units stalker 5. You lied to me. This is the map we were looking at earlier. Oh, dog. I'm sorry. I'm done. There you go. Thanks, guys. How do I get blink? Research blink. Oh, upgrade. Huh. Nice. Thank you. Okay, so this one didn't make it. Okay. After this, we'll make a dabbling on cooldown. Oh, that also makes sense. Okay, right. So you can't. You'd have to like. Oh, fuck me. Is it actually that much harder then? Yeah, like that's actually it looks a bit deceiving actually. Blink is fucking good, man. What the hell? Then that map before, the one with the double ledge. Man, I might have to look at some of the other maps again because some of the other maps the ledge looked pretty small, and like I thought that maybe the stalkers can't go to that far. I might be wrong. Can you show that? Yeah, so you could try walling it. So this is the third. Ramp, ramp, ramp. Bro, how would you wall this as a Protoss? Might be able to break the third because there's a third ramp, right? Like as a Terran, you could probably still take this base. And there's a, okay, so you could do this. So it's gate, you can do gate, cyber, gate, or however the fuck you want to do it. So it actually seems fine, no? Or am I wrong? I guess there's a lot of surface area on all the buildings though. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a PvZ expert, so I couldn't tell you how this works in those OLM scenarios. It did look pretty big, but you can actually do it with 3 buildings, so. Okay. Okay, so this could be a 4. You can't deny scouting from the Reaper. Yeah, I mean, you can't really... I don't say you find a way to wall this. No. Dude, stop. No! That's too good. It's 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 not that this is bad. Okay, so like on this spawn, it's manageable because your add-ons face the opposite way, right? So your add-ons wouldn't get sniped. But on this map, your add-ons you would be pointed at this direction. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. If you want to hold this good, the idea is that you make your buildings into a wall like this, and then you put a tank back here so that your tank doesn't get shot, right? They can't just walk up to your tank, shoot it, and then leave. So you use your buildings as a wall. So you could say that if we don't blink up here, or let's say that you could say that, oh, well, why don't you just build your buildings over here? But then if you build your buildings over here, you have nothing to defend your tanks. And at most, you're going to have 2 tanks there unless you're literally like seeing in the future and knowing what's going to happen to you. Fast speed. Fast my nuts. I nut fast. Okay. So like, that's fucking crazy, man. Jesus Christ. Am I wrong? Am I wrong though? Like this just didn't blink because it didn't have space. Wait, maybe it's just bugged. Units don't blink that far back, do they? Wait a minute. Oh fuck, it's not bugged. That's crazy. I thought maybe they have like more blink, I don't know, abilities because it's the editor. That's crazy. What? Alright. It could, I don't know. Like, is this necessarily game breaking? It's not. It's not. Is it fucking annoying to deal with though? And would I hate my life? I'm sorry, but I would. I would. I'm sorry. But like, now the map is not, I mean, yeah, it actually wouldn't take you that long to get. Dude, what? I'd be molding right now. Now the nice thing is that they can't just go like down this way and then down that way. So like, you have a chance in a way, but like, this is kind of crazy to me. Then just hit it right here, dabble on the tank, bounce out. Whee! You could even just fucking go whee. Dabbling in the Protoss. I'm judging the maps for the Team Liquid map contest. Yeah, that was a doozy. All right. Doc's email, whatever. Okay, it's a 3. It could be used. It could be used, but like that shit is toxic. Like if my best friend did that to me, we wouldn't be best friends anymore, for sure. Like if Estrella did that to me on ladder, I wouldn't want to hang out with him. I'd be like, no, thank you. I'm good. Okay. This map balances. I would have a Protoss friend. I'm not a racist. Gulp. Biggest concern here is the accessibility of the main via for blink stalkers. If the opponent gets, if Terran gets the spawn, if it gets the top spawn, their add-ons can get snipes very easily. and the building, and you need to use your barracks as a way to defend or gay blink or bigger gateway Olens. So yeah, I mean that's like, so it could be used for competitive play, but this is clearly like something that would be exploited really heavily and be really annoying to deal with. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I need to run some errands now. I'll most likely stream this again later tonight. If you want to see me judge the maps again, if you'll be awake for that, I'll be judging the rest of the maps on there. It's pretty fun. It was nice to check them out. Obviously, I still have a good amount here. Crucial Nug. I'm judging the maps. This is what they give me to judge the maps. You could just read the stream title and then put 2 and 2 together, but don't know. That's the 2v2 player mindset. Yeah, but so it's the macro ones left, basically, some of the rush ones, and then the freestyle ones. And then yeah. So I was actually meant to finish this earlier, but I had the DreamHack Masters, but they gave me a few extra days to take a look at them, and obviously I want to finish sooner rather than later. So my goal is to finish this tonight or tomorrow morning, the latest, but definitely try to do it by tonight. And definitely gonna take some time, right? Because we've been looking at them pretty like thoroughly and asking other people's advice. So yeah. You don't get new maps? What do you mean? You just got some. Oh, team game players don't get new maps. Yeah, it's true. You get it fucked. Alright, I'm gonna raid SC2 full and make him keep streaming. Sorry, Echo. You just open cat stream yourself. Geck. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Alright, like I said, I'll be streaming this again tonight if you want to check that out. I think I'm gonna record a bit of it and or download some of it and put it on YouTube as well. If you want to see me judge the other maps. In case you missed the stream. Alright guys, I'll see you guys later.